Hello, my sewing friends. My name's Diana, and this is my sewing channel, The Wandering Sewist. And today is hashtag fridaysews, where we talk a little bit about sewing and a little bit about life. Thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag so that we can all come together and have some sharing and some sense of community. I just really, really love that. So please take a second and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. That is so exciting. I'm so excited. Thank you so much to all of my subscribers, and thank you so much for coming back every week and watching my videos and commenting and liking. I thank you so much for your time. I know your time is valuable. And there's so many other sewing channels on YouTube that you could watch. And I just really appreciate it when you spend a little bit of your time with me. So what have I been up to in the sewing room this week? Well, here she is. I finished my revamped Simplicity 9325. I had the envelope here, here we go. Simplicity 9325. And I made View B, which is the one with the flutter sleeves. And, but I made a few changes. So I'm just gonna take the dress down here. I'm gonna go through the changes with you that I made. So one of the things I did is I sewed the shoulder seam at an angle. I took out an extra 3/4 of an inch. So the seam allowance is 5/8 of an inch. And then I took out another 3/4 of an inch out of the shoulder seam to shorten this distance here. And then I also raised this, I added some length to the center panel. I made it an inch taller. And I made the dress into a maxi skirt. It now goes all the way down to my ankles. And then I made the sash much longer so I can wrap it around from the back to the front and tie it in the front. And let me tell you the reason why I wanted to do that. One reason is because I have some shoulder issues, and so it's hard for me to tie things around my back. The other reason is the tie ends were kind of dangly when I would go into the ladies' room for a bio break. And I would have to try and move the tie ends out of the way so that they didn't go into the commode. And I found that very inconvenient and annoying. So I made the tie ends much longer so that they could come around to the front. So I did take some video of me wearing the dress, and I'm going to insert it now. You'll be able to see me wearing the dress in my backyard. Now it's very windy, so the dress is blowing around, but you can see the whole effect. So here I am in my backyard wearing my beautiful Simplicity dress. The flutter sleeves are epic. You can see where I raised the top by 1 inch, and the collar fits so much better. It's nice shaping around the waist, and I made my sash extra long. You can see there's no closures in the back. It goes over the head. And then now you can see my maxi length. I just love it. I think it's very feminine and beautiful and very dressed up. I paired it with some really pretty white bead earrings. Have a great day. So as you can see, the flutter sleeves are just, I think these are my favorite flutter sleeves. The pattern piece is cut on a circle, and it's just really, let me find the pattern piece. Yeah, so this is the pattern piece for the flutter sleeve, and it's cut out almost like a circle skirt. and it's just gorgeous. I just love that flutter sleeve. So let me show you the pattern pieces that I altered. So first thing I did was I took the front panel, and because I prefer some modesty, I just added an inch to the top of the front panel. And I had it here. That's not it. I had it here just a second ago. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so all I did was, when this was laying on my fabric, I just took my ruler and I just added an inch to the top here. So it didn't mess with the dots. And so all the dots still matched up perfectly. And all it did was just raise that, as you could see in my video, that front panel is higher. So it makes me feel more comfortable to not show anything on the front that I don't want to show. So I really like that alteration. And then the next thing that came up was the bodice, the front bodice and the back bodice. So the back bodice and skirt are all one piece. This is the back bodice and the skirt. It's all one giant piece. So what I did when I sewed this shoulder seam together here is, when I started at the regular 5/8 of an inch, but then I angled in the neck an extra 3/4 of an inch. And I just marked that on my fabric. I just measured the 5/8 and then another 3/4 of an inch and made a dot. And then I drew a line from the 5/8 on this side to the additional amount on this side, and then just sewed on that line. So that was the next change that I did. And the final change was I added 12 inches to the skirt. And the way I did that is I used my trusty quilter's ruler. I don't know if it's clear. So I just, I laid my pattern piece down on the fabric, and then on the edge here, I just lined up my ruler to the edge and measured out another 12 inches and made a mark. And I did that all the way across the length of the skirt here to the other side. So I had several dots going across, and then I just connected the dots, and it gave me maxi length skirt. So I did that for the front and the back. This is the back skirt, and then this is the front skirt piece. So I really love the changes that I made. Let me just double check in my book. See, I'm keeping track of the pattern that I made, the fabric that I made it from, and then I also noted all the changes that I made to the pattern here, so that when I make the dress again, which I probably will, because I really love it, then I will know for next time what changes to make to the pattern. And over time, I might forget what pattern this dress was made from. So I can look back in here and find the swatch. And like, oh yeah, that was Simplicity. That was Simplicity 9325. So I highly recommend this dress. Now, this picture is in a much more structured fabric. Then this is a very beautiful viscose, and it's very drapey. So this dress falls nicely, but I don't think that I would make it out of the more structured fabric. And so I think that this was in the running for making my dress for my son's wedding out of that beautiful pink embroidered linen. But I think the pink embroidered linen would have too much structure for this dress. I want it to be quite a dramatic dress. So either a maxi length or a giant circle skirt or something, because it's for a wedding. So I want it to be, you know, more kind of a dress. So I don't think it's going to be this one. I'm still on the hunt for the right pattern. Or I may have to do a mishmash of things I like about certain patterns and just try to smoosh them together. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that's my dress that I finished this week. The next thing that's on my sewing table is Simplicity 9785 with these cargo pants. And I'm making view B, which is more of a 7/8, 3/4 to 7/8 length. And it has pockets that are inseam pockets on the sides. It has an elastic waistband that you could sew belt loops onto, and you can either make a self fabric tie belt, or like I would prefer to use one of my leather belts. And you can add the cargo pockets. If you can see on the pink one on the bottom, there's the cargo pockets. You can add those if you want. I'm not sure about that yet. I don't know. I might just change those cargo pockets to be butt pockets, because I really like having some place to put my phone in the back when I'm busy around the house or walking around. So I don't know. It's something I can always add later. So I'm not too worried about having to do it like now. Oh, those of you in South Africa, I just said now, like I'm a South African. I did live in South Africa for almost 4 years, so I got in the habit. If you've been to South Africa, or you know any South Africans, or you are South African, then the joke is that now, just now, and now they don't really mean what we Americans think they mean. Not at all. So now means sometime in the near future. Just now means in the next, 15, 20 minutes. Now means like it could happen sometime. It's very fun. All the different dialects that you run into around the world is pretty great. Okay, so that is everything from the sewing room this week. The next segment will be about life. Okay, so before I start talking about life, I wanted to tell you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my sagebrush top from Friday Pattern Company that I entered into the Sew April Blouse Challenge, and I love it. This is a great top. I don't even, I'm not a short sleeve person, but I don't hate the short sleeves. I'm getting used to them. So it's not, I don't think I want to change it. I think I like it the way it is. I was thinking about lengthening the sleeves, but nah, I think I'm going to keep it. I really like it. And I probably will make another sagebrush top. I'm thinking about making it out of a softer, more flowy fabric to get a different look. Don't get me wrong, I love the double gauze, but it's a very structured look. So I think the look of the sagebrush would be very different with a softer fabric. So other things about life this week, I did an emergency appointment at the doctor today because my right ear has been hurting a lot, especially when I'm chewing. So I was thinking maybe I have an ear infection, or something's going on with my braces, or my implant, my tooth implant, or something. So the doctor looked at it, and there's nothing wrong with my ear. And she asked me a bunch of questions, and so she apparently, if you have seasonal allergies and you have a lot of like drainage, it can cause your eardrum to move into your inner ear when you're chewing, and it causes pain in this part of your ear. I had no idea. So it's a simple fix, just a nasal spray, and hopefully when the spring calms down, I will no longer have the pain in my ear. So that was good. Also, I cut my finger pretty bad, and the doctor took a look at it, and she's like, ooh, that's going to be very unpleasant when it's healing, but it's healing fine. I did it yesterday while I was preparing a special treat. Yesterday, I got out my sourdough starter, and I made sourdough cinnamon rolls. I'm going to insert footage of that here. Here is my sourdough cinnamon rolls I just finished. They are still cooling. This jar is my sourdough starter. I just used 1 cup of it in this sourdough cinnamon roll recipe. And if I open this up, you look down inside, there it is. All that is rye flour and water. It's really easy. So one of my subscribers, one of you lovely subscribers, I think it was Copper Horse, asked me about my sourdough starter. So sourdough starter is super, super simple. I just put 2 tablespoons of either rye flour or whole wheat flour. It needs to be either whole wheat or rye, with 2 tablespoons of water in a glass container. Mix that up, cover it loosely like with a washcloth or something, and leave it for 24 hours. And then come back in 24 hours, if you do it in the morning, the next morning, if you do it at night, the next night. And you put in 2 more tablespoons of your either whole wheat or rye flour and 2 tablespoons of water, mix it up and leave it for 24 hours. And you do that for 5 days. And after 5 days, you should start to see some bubbling, and it should start to grow during the day. After 5 days, you need to start feeding it twice a day for 2 or 3 more days, or however long you want to keep it going to use it. So I continually feed mine twice a day so that I can use my sourdough starter every day. So I use it to make crepes for breakfast. I just mix in some eggs with my sourdough starter and some salt, and pour it into the pan like crepe batter, and it makes delicious crepes. The boys love that. I put it in my my chocolate chip cookie dough, and it makes the chocolate chip cookies, it just takes them up to delectable. I make muffins, I make bread, I make I have cinnamon rolls, I make all kinds of stuff with sourdough. And this evening, this is Thursday night here, it's about 9:15 Thursday night, and this evening I am making the old-fashioned whole wheat sourdough bowl bread. So it's upstairs right now doing its thing. I have to start doing the stretch and fold for the next hour or so every 30 minutes. So 2 or 3 sessions of that. And then I can just cover it and leave it on the counter until sometime tomorrow afternoon. And then put it into the pot I want to, cook it in. And then the sourdough will have risen, and it will have done its thing to ferment with the dough, and it changes the structure of the wheat so that it's more easily digestible. So it's supposed to be healthier for you. And my husband, you know what? He's been buying sourdough from the bakery here in Czech Republic, and there's a lot of great bakeries since we got here. But I made him a loaf of that bread last week, and he said that it is better than the bakery. So now I have to bake him his own loaf, special just for him, every week so that he can have his own loaf of sourdough bread instead of buying it from the bakery, because mine is better. Oh man, that was quite a compliment. I really enjoyed that. This weekend is going to be a busy baking weekend for me because my husband's work is having a bake sale to fundraise for a project, and he is having a tour of a bunch of kids that are coming into the workplace to tour, and he's going to be speaking with them, and he wants to gift them each with some cookies. So he wants me to make my special sourdough chocolate chip cookies for them. So I'm going to have a busy baking weekend, getting ready for the bake sale and for the children's tour at my husband's work. And also I'm going to try and fit in finishing these Simplicity 9785 pants, and then I will give you a report back next week and let you know how it goes. So that's it for now. That's it for now. I hope you guys all have a fabulous weekend and with lots of time to sew something beautiful. Bye.